So I call this technique petting a butterfly's aura. A lot of us, when we work with animals, let me see. I got a horse here. See a little horse. We just touch them like that, We put our hands on them and we're just, wow. And that doesn't feel very good, does it? I mean, it's like you pet them. It's like, So we want to think about working with our animals as if you're petting, like pretend this microphone is a butterfly and we're just gently petting a butterfly's aura. Doesn't that feel different than, I'm not going to hit the microphone, but, kind of poking or heavy-handed, right? Keep in your mind the thought of a butterfly. So feel your connection to a butterfly right now. And when you do healing energy work, I don't like the word channel, but that's kind of a word we humans can kind of relate to. It's kind of movement, right? So we need to be clear. And Native people will say, we need to become like a hollow bone. That's kind of a graphic picture for me, but I get it. It's like, a hollow bone is clear of anything blocking what's going through it, right? So another thing to think about is, for me, we just had our hot water heater burst again. And so think of a hose or a water pipe. If a hose is bent, what happens to the water? It either gets completely blocked or it can't flow through the hose as well as it did when the hose was unkinked. So that's the reason that we humans need to practice like a meditation practice, because the more we practice, the easier it is for energy to flow through us, in us. So it helps us to unblock any blockages. But first, you need to be in this really grounded place. Because if we're like, oh my God, Fluffy's hurt, what do I do? Is that serving Fluffy or Spike or, whoever, Aurora, whatever your dog, cat, horse, other wild animals are called? When we're like, what do I do? Which is me a lot, until I take a breath. It just makes everybody really even more worried. So we need to get into this place of being grounded and centered and breathing. And then we can be that place where healing can take place. So here it is. So get yourself kind of grounded and centered. Feel your feet on the ground. You can, so you need to be with your animal companion. So let's pretend this is the little dog, Fluffy, right? So you need to be able to have your hand close to Fluffy, okay? And all you're going to do, it's really simple. Here's get Fluffy in my, I hope you can see Fluffy okay. So what you do is you breathe in, you get yourself nice and quiet, and then you take your hand, and instead of just going in really fast like that, I don't know if you can see very well. Instead of going in really fast like that, you just very gently, as if it's a butterfly that's going to fly away, bring your hand over their head. So there's a little dog. So you do maybe a finger. And then you just go down their spine, off the body, and then gently go, I keep breathing. And then you come back and you just go down their body. I'm going to demonstrate on my arm. So you do it with me. So take a nice slow breath, and you can have your arm however it is. Oh, this focus. Okay, this might be better. I think you can see this. So imagine my elbow is the head of a dog, a cat, a smaller animal, not a horse. And this is their tail. So what you do is you bring your hand in very gently and you just breathe. I'm not sure you can see this very well. Maybe like that. And you have not touching the body, hands off an inch or two above the body, and just slowly and gently bring your hand down the spine to the tail, and then gently off, And then you bring your hand just gently back. Like imagine this is water. You're just gently going through the water and you're trying not to make waves. And then the head, down the head, the neck, the spine, down to the tail, and then gently off. And then you repeat that again, feeling your connection with the animal, just breathing normally. And you just bring your hand down. And you just keep doing that. And as you do it, notice what you might feel. So on your own arm, notice what you feel. Do you feel hot, heat, cool, tingly, a little magnetic sensation, like your hand wants to gently, like, okay, woo. Or nothing, it doesn't matter. And if you feel anything, it's just energy. Right? But this is the technique that I like to call petting a butterfly's aura. Now, if you have a horse, and you have a baby horse, but if you have a horse, they're obviously bigger. Even if it's a mini, little mini horses, they're about the size of a Great Dane. Right? But you would use both hands. So and so like say this is their head. How am I doing this? I hope you can see my, over here. Okay, so this is their head, and you start up at the head, and you bring your hands down their neck. You can have your hands like that or like that. Just keep them about the same height off the horse's body, down their spine, and then down their tail to the ground. And then you gently come back up, their head's way up here, gently coming down their neck, and then down the spine, and down the ground. And with a big horse or even a dog or cat, let's see if I can slowly demonstrate. And I'll just use my finger. So you can, angle is funny. You can start at the head. You want to make sure you don't tickle them, and you come down. And instead of going down the tail here, you can go down a leg, and then you can come down and then go down that leg, and then go back. You're using both hands. And go down that way. And in the case of a horse, you might go on the other side. And another thing that's really, really, really important with horses, dogs, cats, let them move around. Don't force them. If they're like, okay, I've got to walk over here, let them walk over there. Sometimes they just need a drink of water, because water is really important when you're doing any kind of energy work. And if they're, excuse me, they may be done. So just respect that. They've had enough. So let them go, and let's go, okay, you're done. And you can do it again. You can do it throughout the day. You can do this technique throughout the day. You can do it once a day, whatever works for you. But try it out. Try it on yourself. You can do this with another human as well. So if you were doing it with a human, you would just kind of scan their body, off their body, and go down their feet, go down their arms, or you could even just leave your hand in one spot and just breathe and just feel. And healing takes place. It's just really beautiful.